Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to a brand new chapter. That's right, this is no longer the Delaware Blogger Podcast. I've taken a turn for the awesome and revamped the show entirely for a generation that's anything but retiring. This is Boomers and Beyond with the Delaware Blogger. Now, are you over 55 and looking for a podcast that speaks your language? Well, you've come to the right place. Whether you're rocking retirement or still chasing that corner office, Boomers and Beyond is your weekly dose of fun, friendly conversation that's all about things that matter to you. Now, we're going to be diving into lifestyle topics like health and wellness, travel adventures for the young at heart, navigating family dynamics. We're going to talk about adult children too, exploring delicious food options, and of course, finding ways to keep life fun and exciting. Now, each week is going to be like chatting with your best friend over coffee or tea or juice or whatever you prefer. But hey, you won't even have to get out of your pajamas because we're going to be sharing stories and swapping ideas and tips and maybe even sharing a tear or two, but mostly tears of laughter. And guess what? This show is for you. So if there's a topic that you want to discuss, let me know. Leave a comment. Go to delblogger.com when you see this episode hit the blog and let me know what you'd like me to cover in future episodes. So go grab yourself your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's get ready to boom on the Boomers and Beyond with the Delaware Blogger Podcast. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Delaware Blogger Podcast. Now, I'm your host, Antionette Blake, and today we're diving headfirst into summer, sunshine, barbecues, and maybe even a trip to the beach. It's a wonderful time of the year, but with the heat comes some challenges, especially for us in the 55 plus community. So go grab yourself a cold glass of ice water, put on your sunscreen, and let's talk about staying healthy and cool this summer. That's right. This episode, we're going to be talking about staying cool and healthy, a guide for boomers and beyond, because our bodies, they're amazing machines, but extreme heat can put a strain on them. So let's talk about some common heat-related illnesses: heat stroke, heat exhaustion, and heat cramps. Now, heat stroke is the most serious, so it's important to recognize the signs. You'll feel confused, dizzy, have a high body temperature, and sometimes you can even lose consciousness. So if you feel or see the signs in yourself or someone else, call 911 immediately. Heat exhaustion, on the other hand, is less severe, but it still requires attention. Some of those symptoms include heavy sweating, weakness, nausea, and headache. So what you want to do is cool down in a shaded area, sip on some water, and loosen your clothing. And then the last one is the heat cramps. They can be painful muscle spasms, and they can occur when you're exercising. So to avoid them, you got to do what? Stay hydrated and take breaks in the shade. So if you're following me along on my Dell Blogger blog, I am talking about outside exercise, gardening inside and out, but we have to stay hydrated, and water is the best we can do for ourselves. I personally did not like water, but I am learning to drink it more and more on a regular basis. Why? Because the summer can be a double-edged sword. Of course, we need that sun for vitamin D, but too much exposure can raise our risk of sun cancer. And, I can give you a story when I was back in high school, down in Dover. Every weekend I'd be out there on the beach, covered in baby oil. Yeah, it was crazy. And unfortunately, my cousin, she did the same thing, and she actually passed of melanoma cancer back in 1993. So, you gotta be careful. Make sure that you choose a broad spectrum SPF 30 or higher, and reply that every 2 hours, especially if you're going to be swimming or sweating. And find some shade during the peak hours, which are between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. You might even want to wear protective clothing, right? Like a hat with a wide brim, sunglasses that block your UVA and UVB rays, and of course, some loose fitting, breathable fabrics, because even on cloudy days, those UV rays can reach you. So don't ditch the sunscreen. Make sure you have it on. I usually look for sunscreen with an SPF of 50 or higher, because I'm not messing around, especially the older I get. And once again, I want to emphasize hydration. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I don't, I never said I was, but dehydration is one of the major concerns in the hot weather. And I know you may not feel thirsty, but your body loses fluid through sweating. So here's a tip on how to stay hydrated. Sip on cool water throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. I've got now the big, not that what's that brand name one. I'm not even going to talk about it, but I do have a big thermos of water, and I put ice cubes in it and lemon, and I carry that with me everywhere. So carry a reusable water bottle wherever you go. And you know what? Fruits and vegetables, those have a lot of high water content, especially watermelon, cucumbers, and celery. So you might want to snack on those and stay away from like the sugary drinks or, yeah, alcohol, right? Because alcohol can actually dehydrate you further. So hydration is key. So those are just a few tips, but staying cool, you can stay active too, because summer fun don't have to stop, right? Here's some cool tips to stay active and cool. And again, schedule your outdoor activities for early morning or in the evening when the sun is less intense. Remember that 10 to 4. Take advantage of air conditioned spaces like libraries or malls. You can walk those malls, especially during the hottest time of the day. And swimming, splashing, sitting in front of a sprinkler, even some light indoor exercise is better than none, and it'll keep you safe and out of the sun. I can tell you all this stuff from morning to night, but you have to listen to your body. This is the most important tip. Don't push yourself too hard in the heat. Pace yourself. Take breaks in the shade or indoors and listen to your body's signals. If you start to feel dizzy, lightheaded, excessively sweaty, you got to cool down right away. Get into the air conditioning or even jump into a cool shower. Remember, it's okay to slow down and enjoy the summer at your own pace. Now, you guys know I've been doing this blogging thing and this podcasting thing for a long time. And if you're like me, a lifelong learner and a go-getter, and you want to deep dive into your online presence, I have my Podcasting Your Purpose Resource Guide Edition 2, and it has a lot of information. And then I also have that 5-week coaching course that steps you, from first to guide you step by step to starting your own podcast. So head over to delblogger.com or email me at info@ablakeenterprises.com to learn more and unleash your power of podcasting. There you have it. With these tips, and pretty sure you've got others, so make sure you share them. You can enjoy a safe and healthy summer. Remember, staying cool and hydrated is crucial. And don't be afraid to adjust your plans and prioritize your well being. Now get out there and enjoy the sunshine responsibly, of course. And until the next time, this is the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger, reminding you to stay cool and keep on keeping on. See ya. It's the DE Diva. Well, folks, that's all we have for you today on Boomers and Beyond with the Delaware blogger. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation and maybe even learned something new. Now, remember, if there's a topic that you'd like me to talk about, don't be shy. Leave a comment on the website. When this podcast episode hits Del Blogger, you'll be able to leave a comment. delblogger.com. And even if you have suggestions, I love that too. Hey, I'm also looking for some fantastic sponsors and collaborators who cater to the amazing 55 plus community. So if you're a business owner, have a business or service, and you think it would be a great fit for the show, send an email to info@ablakeenterprises.com and we'll get in touch real soon. Again, thanks for joining us on this journey, and I'll see you right back here next Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for another exciting episode of Boomers and Beyond with the Delaware blogger. And until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep on